It's Monday night. It's time for the post game NHL with six game on the program. So don't go nowhere. Welcome back to another edition of the Hockey Nation Live Show. This is your host, Coach Frenchy, back in the house for you guys for the sixth post game on the program tonight in NHL, and we're going to go through each one of them with by number, with stat, with all the comments for what I saw tonight. And but before we start, we always also like to invite you to don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel and also on the Facebook page where you get all the information and all the news around the league and the NHL, all the milestone example. And also I do all the preview and post game about the Montreal Canadiens all year long because this is my team. You can see the two jersey behind me, and all those Facebook page and also the YouTube channel is under one words Hockey Nation Live Show. So let's start right away with the first game at 7 o'clock tonight. It was a battle between the New York's team. Honestly, the Islanders visit the New York Rangers, and finally the final score 2-0 for the Islanders. Before the game started, there was the same record 4-4-2, and finally with this win, the Islanders get now 5-4-2, and now the Rangers are 4-5-2. If we resume all the number, the show was even 30-30. Honestly, the Rangers dominate on face-off 61-39. Miserable night for the center for the New York Islanders. To be honest with you, the power play 0-1 and 0-3 for the Rangers. Hit was the same thing. It was not too much physicality there, but 25 on both teams. The black shell was 19 for the Rangers and 14 for the New York Islanders. The penalty, 6-minute penalty for the Islanders, 2 minutes for the Rangers. And the giveaway, a lot of giveaway puck for the New York Rangers with 12, and half of this for the New York Islanders with 6. So if we resume a bit what's going on during the game, and no goal at the first period between both teams. The shot was 9-7 for the New York Rangers. Was pretty much not dominate by any other the two teams. The goaltender was very fantastic, and for the net, they have only one penalty, and Michael Del Cole hooking against Trouba at 121 at the beginning of the game. Only 2 shots from the Rangers. And we have to wait until the second period start. And again, it's the same thing happening. No goal for both teams. 0-0 after the second period. Only one penalty on that period. Go to Dobson for the New York Islanders at 6:14. Again, the Rangers cannot score, take advantage of their power play. The shot was a bit better for the Islanders, 14-10. 21 shot after second period for the Islanders and 19 for the Rangers. That gives you an idea how it was. It was so much even this game. We have to wait until the 11th minute and 15 seconds at the middle of the third period to see a first goal of the night. He came from the four-line. Casey Zizikas scored his second goal of the year and also his second goal back-to-back game. Assist goal to Martin and Pelech. And then Matt Martin, 2 minutes later, scored his first of the year with Klunderbach and Barzal. And it was the second goal. And it was the one where really make a difference. Rangers couldn't do anything. But at the end of the day, all night, it was all about Varlamov. Got his third shutout of the year and also his second back-to-back against the Rangers. So that's not happened a lot of times. And honestly, with the offensive, the Rangers has, you expect, a couple of goals, but unfortunately that happened. Alex Lafreniere for a second game, not second game, but again, did not do well. They have -1. But I'm surprised. He looked like Jack Hughes from last year, maybe a little bit worse, to be honest with you. He struggled, cannot score. He tried, but again, he skated well, but he cannot find the net. So it's sad to see Alexis, not get a result yet, but we wish the best for him. The 3-star of the night, it was Varlamov, of course, stopped 30 shots. And then Matt Martin had 2 points tonight, 1 goal, 1 assist. And we have to go with the goal winner of the game, Casey Zizikas. His second goal of the year, and that's gave the win for the Islanders. And again, the Islanders really looked like it was last year's on the playoff. They have a stretch, a 3-4 game recently. Did not do well, but now they're getting a little bit better. You can see the system come back to what Barry Trotz do ask. And honestly, they do it very well. And then Varlamov stopped what he's supposed to do. So good performance for the Islanders tonight. Rangers did almost everything they should to win, but unfortunately, they made a really solid goalie and don't want to give up anything tonight. So a good performance for Varlamov. The second game of the night, it was between the Vancouver against Toronto Maple Leaf tonight. And again, and then the same result. But for some reason, I'll be honest with you, Vancouver deserve better because they have 32 shots versus 19 tonight. But the final score is same result. They lost again 3-1 versus Toronto Maple Leaf. Overall, they play well, Toronto, and they take advantage of everything when it was the right time. And but it's Vancouver. When I said they deserve better, it's because we did not get any goal from only one goal came from Matthews, but otherwise it was nothing from Tavares, nothing for Marner, nothing for Nylander. So you could have a chance to win that game, but unfortunately it did not happen. And they lost at the end of the night. They lost 3-1, unfortunately for them. So what happened during the first period? Only one goal at 6:38. Morgan Riley scored his second goal of the year unassisted to open the score and to give the lead to the Toronto Maple Leaf 1-0. Only one penalty during that period came to Justin Old on the tripping at 13:47. Vancouver have 3 shots on this, but nothing happening, honestly. The shot after the first period, I'll just give you an idea, 13-4 for the Canucks. Very good start for the Canucks, I'll be honest with you. And you're going to see during the second period, we got a goal for Elias Peterson, his 5th of the year. Hughes got his 16-point assist of the year with Bowser at 9:59 to square and tie up the game 1-1 on power play goal. So at that moment, everything looking good for the Canucks. And honestly, they have 3 penalties in that period. Austin Matthews got a penalty. Tanner Person for the Vancouver at 12:35 is 17:31. Morgan Riley got a penalty for tripping. Vancouver tried to score very close, but could not find a way to go through Frederick Anderson. At that moment, be honest with you, listen to this part. Canucks Vancouver shot 14 versus 3 for Toronto. So after 2 periods, the score is 1-1. 27 shot versus 7. Great performance for Derek Anderson and find the net for Toronto to keep the team Toronto in the game and to give a chance to win. And also it was only 1-1 after the second period. Honestly, we have to wait until the 9 minute 20 seconds. The third period, Austin Matthews scored his 11th goal of the year. He is dominate and lead in the NHL for the most goal by any player so far. Sandin and Marner got an assist on that one over there. And finally at 9:39, about 16 more minutes maybe, 16 more seconds, 17 more seconds. Alexander Kerfoot scored his second of the year on Mikheyev assist to give a 3-1, and then that it was over. That's it for the Vancouver. They have only 5 shots during the third period. So I don't know what happening for between the second and third period. Toronto have 12 shots to finish with 19 shots only versus Toronto have 32 shots. That give you an idea how Vancouver dominate tonight versus so that gave them a chance to Vancouver to win, but unfortunately got the 10 loss of the year. They lost the 5 game straight. They are now 6-10-0 for Toronto. They became the first team to win 10 double-digit win with 10-2-1 now. They are first in the North Division. Like I said, 32 shots versus 19 for the Canucks Vancouver. The faceoff was 50-50, 1-4 in power play for Vancouver, 0-2 for Toronto. The hits were 31-21 for Vancouver. Another game physicality. Vancouver try everything possible. The block shot 8, Vancouver 12, Toronto. 8-minute penalty for Toronto, 4-minute penalty for Vancouver. Finally, they gave away 9 for Vancouver, 13 for Toronto. I'll be honest with you, it was not the best game for the Toronto Maple Leafs tonight, but he find a way to win, and that's what he count at the end of the night. The goal for the Toronto, Riley's second, Matthews is 11 with a goal winner, and Kerfoot is second of the year. And finally, Frederick Anderson from the net was amazing. Stop 31 shot on the 31 save on the 32 shot he got. And finally, Peterson scored his fifth of the year on power play. And the last goal to Brendan Olby for Vancouver. He stopped 18 on the 19 shot he got tonight. So it was the second game of the night. And then let's move on to the third one. And this was another entertaining night. Remember yesterday, win of Carolina 6-5 versus Columbus. Tonight, it was the revenge of the Columbus to win tonight 3-2, gave a record of 6-5-3 for Columbus. Carolina fall now and 7-3-0. And we have to give credit to Columbus to win this game. If you want to talk about John Tortorella, this man is unbelievable. He sit Patrick Laney a couple of minutes during the game. Yeah, not Dubois, Laney. So, but they win. So you have to give him credit. He knows what he's doing, to be honest with you. And, that's the way what Tortorella does for the Columbus. During the first period, only one goal for Columbus Blue Jackets came for the first of the year. The Scott Harrington, Stenlon, and Teixier got his an assist at 18-24 at the end of the first period. We have only one goal during that period. We have only one penalty. Shefnikov at 2:26. Nothing happening for Columbus Blue Jacket. You know already they struggle on power play this year. The shot was 8-4 for Carolina. But again, the Columbus find a way to score and then take the lead by 1-0 after the first. During the second period, a little bit more action. Nino Niederreiter scored his fifth of the year unassisted at 6:19 to square and tie the game 1-1. And then 4 minutes later, 4-minute Cam Atkinson score. It's rare, to be honest with you. We have to check about this, but he scored on shot and dirt and also on penalty shot. He's third of the year, so it's not. I have to look about this because I don't think so. It's happened a lot in the NHL, PK, and also on penalty shot. And finally, Brooke McGinn score at 12:46, 2 minutes later, and to square and tie up the game 2-2 after the second period. Both play very well on this period. We have a couple of chances from Ao and Shemnikov, but they cannot find a way to score tonight. And then you have only two penalties during that period. David Savard for hooking at 10:32, and then 10:38, 6 seconds later, Thibaut Terenvenens. You have like I said, a hooking on breakaway from Atkinson for the penalty shot, and that gave a chance to Atkinson score. No penalties during the third period, to be honest with you. And finally, third period, we have only one goal, and we have to wait until 15 minutes, 24 seconds. And again, Jack Roslovic scored his second goal of the year, pass to Kavrikov and Jones. An amazing, great goal. If you have a chance to watch this, it was amazing from Jack to score. We have to give him, since he played where he came from Winnipeg, he's doing very well with Columbus, play on the first line with Laney and Atkinson. Sometimes players need opportunity, and that's what he's doing right now with the Columbus Blue Jacket. Third period shot, it was 10-7 for the Columbus Blue Jacket, and the final shot, it was 24-22 for Carolina at the end of the game. So if we go a little bit more deep on the numbers, 62 face-off percent for Carolina versus 38 domination for the Carolina tonight. On the power play, both teams are 0-1. Hit 21-19 for Carolina. Block shot 22 versus 12 for Columbus. We know already with Tortorella, you need to block shot to play for him. Minute penalty, both the team have only 2 minutes. Very quiet referee um, silent their whistle tonight, and finally gave away puck. Gave away. It was a 9 for Columbus and only 3 for Carolina. Again, another tie game between both teams, and a good performance. A Corpusalo in front of the net for the Winnipeg gave a chance to the Columbus win their sixth of the year this year. So a good performance for the Carolina Hurricane tonight. And let's move on for the next game. And it was the last game at 7 o'clock tonight. It was between the Edmonton Oilers versus the Ottawa Senator. And finally, the another good performance from Ottawa. Whatever they don't win, they play better and better against Edmonton. Remember last week they struggled. They lost 8-5 and 4-2. It was good that game, but again tonight they very play well against Edmonton and final score 3-1. That bring Edmonton now play for 500, 770, and Senator became the first team in the NHL to get the double digit in the last side. So you have now 2-10-1. You have no goals during the first period. Both team was a little bit quiet on that side, but they have a couple of penalty. We know you have a fight at 141 between Keira and Watson, and then another fight between 2 seconds later on the face-off between Keshian and Kubrenson. So we talk about man to man here, the big guys fight. So after less than 2 minutes, we already 5 minute two battle, two fight in the game, and then at 7:19, Shabbat have a tripping. McDavid he have an opposite to score at some point. He did not do it, and then DNA got another penalty at 16:12, but unfortunately 6 seconds later, Ryan Nugget Huggins, uh, you know, have a penalty, and it was over for the power play for Oilers, so they have to come back now 4 versus 4. That was happening in the first period. The shot was 10-8 for Ottawa. That would give you a chance to, that would tell you right now Ottawa was in the game. Then we have to wait a second period, and then who opened up the goal, the score? It was Ottawa. Evgeny Dadonov scored his second of the year, unassisted at 5:33, and then we have to wait until the next 10 minutes before the Oilers, and of course, Leon Tresalt scored his eighth of the year, and at 15:11 to score the goal 1-1. It was the end of this period. After that, the same score 1-1. Not many penalty, three penalty on that period. Uh, excuse me, but both teams did not score during the post penalty. Um, the shots during the second period was the net domination for the Oilers, 17-9. And but again, whatever it was, 17-9, the score it was still only 1-1 at the end of the second period. Matt Murray is doing well in front of net. Then finally, the third period, Tyler Ennis scored his first of the year. Back in the lineup with the Oilers, and score at 6:09 to give the first lead for the Oilers during this game, 2-1, and finally at 18:50, Josh Archibald scored his third of the year, and McDavid got an assist to give a win to the Edmonton 3-1, and finally the shot was um, 10-9, and the final shot it was 35-28 for the Edmonton Oilers. The three-star of the game is Trisalt, Murray, and Mike Smith. The goaltender was back in the lineup for the Oilers. It was his first game of the year, honestly. Well, second game, but the first time he came back since his injury. Do very well for the Edmonton Oilers. That gave also a break to Koskinen in the net, because I think to carry on the load the last couple of weeks was not easy for him. The faceoff was 52-48 for the Oilers. The power play was completely null tonight, 0-4 for the Oilers, 0-2 for Edmonton. The hit was 23-17. Other effect, we have two fights at the beginning of the game. Honestly, after that, was very quiet. The block was 17 versus 11 for the Oilers, and the minute penalty 14 Edmonton, 18 for Ottawa. The giveaway was almost the same, 14 for Edmonton, 13 for Ottawa. And at the end of the day, Edmonton again find a way to beat Ottawa for the third time this year. And I'll be honest with you, That gave also a Trissel got a goal, and McDavid got an assist. So they consider straight of the points game after game. It's just amazing what they accomplished. Was the 27 point of McDavid this year, is 18 assists of the year. Let's move on with the both game. The last two game of the night, they start at 8 o'clock. Let's start with this one over there, and a shootout. The Coyotes win 4-3. There was the third win on the Blues in the last four game between both formations. So Coyotes find a way to win. To be honest with you, now they are 6-5-1, and Blues fall at 7-5-1. They lost the last three game, honestly, and but the shot again, St. Louis dominate. It's just a great performance night after night. Whatever who is goaltender last time it was Renta. Tonight is Kumper, and they just gave a chance to the Coyotes to stay in the game and find a way to win. The shot was 43 versus 26. The face-off was 54 versus 46 for the Coyotes. The power play, that's make a difference. 2 goals and 4 attempts for Coyotes, 1 and 4 for the Blues. The hits was 22-21, pretty even. The block shots, same thing, 18-17, but this is for the Blues. The minute penalty square, both team have 15 minutes of penalty. And finally, again, the giveaway was 6 versus 6. So tonight, to be honest with you, both team has almost the same kind of stats. And, this game could be on the both ways. And finally, of course, you need to have a winner. And we have to wait until the last shootout of the night to see the winner of this game. And that's give you an idea, honestly, who win it on. Is Christian Starek score on shootout for Arizona, and gave to Coyotes to win their game 4-3. Let's resume a little bit what happening during the game, and let's start with the first period. We have only one goal in the first period. It's fourth of the year. O'Reilly's getting hot and hotter now. Scores 3 goals the last 4 games. Perron have an assist. Falk have an assist. This goal was on power play and 13-29 at the first period. During that period, we have only 4 penalties during this period, 2 for each team, and that's the only goal we have in power plays during the first period. The shots during the first period was 10-11 for St. Louis, so that gives you an idea. It was pretty even. Then we have to go to the second period where Connor Garland scored his 5th of the year. Keller got an assist with Schmalz at 1:48 to score the goal, the game 1-1. Then at 8:11, the Blues come back to lead again for the second time during this game, 2-1. David Perron scored his 5th of the year, and then Christian Thorak, 3 minutes later, scored his 7th of the year. Schmalz and Chikron have an assist. This goal was on power play, and that's the last goal of the second period. And after 2, it was 2-2 after 2. And then the shot was completely dominated by the Blues, to be honest with you, 17-9. So that'll give you an idea what Kumper did in front of the net for them, for the Coyotes tonight. Then third period, 3:44, Ryan O'Reilly scored his 5th of the year. Scored 4 goals in the last 3 games for the Blues. Give another lead. That's the third time of the game the St. Louis lead by 1. And McKicker got his first assist of the year. Finally, at 19:59. Let me repeat to you. At the buzzer, 1998, 1 second on power play goal. Clinton Keller scored his 4th of the year. Thorak and Chinkran have an assist on that goal and square the game 3-3 to go and overtime, and no goals during overtime. But again, 19:59 at the buzzer, a goal of Clinton Keller is 4th of the year. The shots during the third period was pretty great. 11-5 for the Blues, and finally an OT. The Blues have again 4 versus 2 for the Blues for a total 43-26. But I just want to remind you this penalty and 18:31 at the end of the game. Jaden Schwartz for the Blues got a high stick and he got a 2 minute penalty on that moment over there. And but during that time, there was in power play, so he scored a power play. They became 4 versus 4 because Keller was in the penalty box at that moment when the Schwartz get a penalty. Now in 1911, Justin Falk got an holding against Connor Gallen. But look what happening. Gallen got an embellishment against Justin Falk. Now we still go to square the penalty there. So we have, another 3 versus 3 for about, 24 seconds. And then they have an empty net for the Blues, for the Coyotes. The Keller came back on the ice because his penalty was over, and he scored the last second of the game. So just give you an idea of a lot of entertaining, a lot of stuff, excitement at the end of the game between both formation. I think it was very important to mention this to you. Finally, Keller score, Thorax score, and a goal winner and shootout, and they have 2 goals for the Coyotes versus 1 during the shootout. Cooper win as a goaltender, and then Bennington lost for the Blues. Finally, the last game of the night have to go with Tampa Bay Lightnings. Those guys just run it. They are 7-1-1, won 4-1 against Nashville Predator. We know what's going on with the Lightnings. They're doing well, and then I don't know. It look like Nashville don't do it well. And again, they play without Owenson tonight. We have a fight, the Steven Stamkos fight tonight. Pretty interesting to see that. I'm going to talk a little bit about this. Let's go by numbers first of all. Final score 4-1 for Tampa Bay. 35 shot versus 24 for Tampa. A good performance for Rene and Fondenet. It was second game back-to-back for the Nashville. The face-off almost closed, 53-47 for Tampa Bay. Power play, both teams score 1 goal, and 3 for Tampa and 4 for Nashville. Hit 14-10 with quiet physicality, but we got Stamkos tried to fight at some point tonight. The black shot 19-18 for the Nashville. The penalty 15-minute penalty for the Lightning, 13 for Nashville. Finally, the giveaway was pretty much even. 7 for Tampa Bay and 9 for the Nashville. So we talked a little bit more what happening during the game. During the first period, we have only 1 goal. Anthony Cirelli scored his third of the year. An assist goal to Killorn and Cernak at 9 minutes and 7 seconds. Only three penalty. We have a fight at 2 minutes 4 between Luc Chen and Mathieu Olivier. Then finally, Jack Rock got a tripping at 14:50, but unfortunately, Tampa Bay did not score on that penalty. Look again, 17 shot for Tampa Bay versus 6. So that give you an idea what Rene did for Nashville, keep the team and the game at 1-0 after the first. Honestly, we have only one more goal in the second period. Again, Anthony Cirelli scored his second goal of the game, his fourth of the year. Sergachev and Maroon got an assist. This goal was on power play at 13:02. It was the only goal at that period. After 2 it was 2-0 for the Tampa Bay. And then finally, when I'm talking about Steve Stamkos at 17:38 with Nick Cousin have a little bit like pushing each other and a couple of punch there, but the ref did only give them a roughing. Edmund got also a 2 minute there for the Tampa Bay. So the Nashville got a power play, but did not score at that moment. Shot again 10-6 for the Tampa Bay. It was 27-12 after 2 periods. And then finally at the beginning, at 11 minute at 08, Tandy Fabreau scored his first goal of the year. Duchesne Granlund got an assist on power play. That now, trailed by 1 goal at that moment for Nashville. They tried to come back, but unfortunately, Blake Coleman scored his third of the year at 18:22. And then finally, Steven Stamkos his fifth of the year, an assist to Point at 19:58. It was the last 2 goals of the game. It was 4-1 and empty net. And then the shots on that third period was Nashville 12-8 for them. That's pretty good for them to get that. It was a rare night to see not Vasilevsky in the net. It was Curtis McEnany in the net for the Tampa Bay Lightning's win. The 3-star was Anthony Cirelli, his first star of the night with Curtis McEnany, second star, and Piquet Rennie, third star of the night for them. Overall, it was a good game for Tampa Bay. Nashville, I watched them again play against Florida. I think it was Friday night, and they won 6-5. Then they lost against Florida, and but I don't see this team. Something's going on with that team. They missed something not naturally was before. It's funny because when the offensive uh, score, the goaltender are not great. And when the goaltender is great, they don't have goals from the offensive, and that's happening for the last couple of games for Nashville. So that's resumed the sixth game of the night and the program for the Monday night. All right, like we do at the end of this video, we always go with the 3-star of the night. The third star of the night, Darcy Kemper for the Arizona Coyotes, stopped 40 shot tonight for the Coyotes, and he gave them a chance to win, and that's happening. They won on shootout, and great performance again for Kemper and from the net. The second star of the night, we have to go with Anthony Cirelli. Scored 2 goals tonight, 1 on power play, the goal winner also for Tampa Bay. Good performance for him. He scored his 4th of the year, 34th of the year. And finally, the first star, we have to go with, again, Sergei Varlamov, the goaltender for the New York Islanders, shut down shootout tonight. The New York Rangers, his second time he does this against them, back-to-back game. And, he did very well in front of the net for the New York Islanders. So good performance for Sergei Varlamov tonight. So, but before we leave, we want just to remind you, don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel under the Facebook page under Hockey Nation Live Show. Thanks again for watching our show tonight. This is your coach, Coach Frenchy, directly from the house. Before we leave, we just want to remind you, we do this every time. You have greatness inside of you. Have an amazing, great night, everybody.